So this is one of the first processes of making tomato sauce. We've picked the tomatoes and we've washed them, so every tomato gets washed, and then I go through and where necessary I pick off the stems, and then it's really a cutting operation. And you notice I'm not wearing any hair protection garb and there's flies flying around. The health department would be really happy, except for the fact that all of these tomatoes, and you can see them being dumped in here, all of these tomatoes get boiled for 3 to 4 hours, depending on what kind they are. And so it kills all the bacteria that would be harmful to us human beings. And these are Romas that I'm cutting up right now. And we use about 25% to 40% of Romas, depending on the consistency of the sauce that we want. Romas don't have a particularly interesting flavor, but it's what provides the thickness to the sauce. And then we have 4 other varieties of tomatoes, minimum, that we blend in. I'm just pushing the tomatoes into the hopper, and we're making sauce. They're coming out of the front. This is stuff you don't want. Goes into this container, and that's about 5 gallons right there, maybe 3 gallons of tomato sauce. Once it goes in here, it goes over to the pots, and there's nothing in here but that blend of 5 or 6, maybe 4 different types of tomatoes, and we stir it occasionally just to kind of break up any of the solids that still might be there. So this, I am taking the fresh herbs and some onions and some garlic, and I'm pre-making what we're going to put into the sauce, so I can kind of be a little ahead of the game. And as you can see, it's not really fancy. Parsley, basil, onions, garlic. That's it. And that way, if you open up my sauce and you put it into a pot, and you bring it up to temperature, you can add a few more things if you want. And it smells great, of course. So it's fresh, and again it's going to go into the cooked down tomato sauce and cook for another hour or 2, depending on how much I'm doing. I don't put any brown or white sugar into our tomato sauce. You can do that, especially if you have children that like a sweeter flavor, but I'm not recommending it. The basil usually gives it enough of a sweetness that you don't have to do that. And as you can see, I don't measure. If God had wanted me to be a chemist, He would have put me in a lab. So this is all by hand, kind of by feel. And it's kind of like making wine. You know, one batch is going to be a little bit different than the next, and that's okay. Yeah.
There. Okay.
So now we're adding in all the chopped up ingredients into the sauce. And again, I don't measure. I just look at the sauce and the consistency and know that it's going to cook another hour or 2. And then we'll go ahead and can it, bottle it. And I think it needs just a little bit more. And I think that's about right. And so total cooking time is probably a good 4 or 5 hours. And there's your real spaghetti sauce. And we put garlic in here and fresh herbs that we grow in our garden. And there's the spaghetti sauce. And then later today we'll go ahead and bottle it under a vacuum process so that it keeps in your pantry. And that's all I got for now. So we've got our cooked spaghetti sauce, and we've got a bell jar, and we're ready to kind of go ahead and put everything in, and it's really simple. So these are quart jars, a little bit bigger than what they use commercially. So you got 32 ounces here. And the way we make this sauce is you can add tomato paste if you want it thicker, or you can leave it this way, which is more of a Sicilian style. And that's all there is to it.
And then you're going to add a lid. You just have to heat up the lids, put them on top, put on your ring, and seal it in.
We're going to put it into a pot of hot boiling water first. There you